Sorry, but cluck yo, but you need to take notes from me, as I'm an example of the best Disney father. Yo.
And he's nobody else but nobody else but you. You turned into a true blue.
A goofy movie, yo, directed by Kevin Lima, one of the directors of Tarzan, believe it or not, and is the first goofy solo movie, loosely based on the Goofy cartoon Goofer Troops, and released the exact same year as Disney's Pocahontas and Toy Story. Also, my birth year. So, a Goofy movie tells the story of Goofy's son Max, who finally gains his long desired popularity at his high school, and the attention of the girl he likes, Roxanne, after he impersonates the superstar Powerline, and the principal phones Goofy, informing him that Max has committed a criminal offence, so Goofy will need to give him better parenting. So Goofy drags Max on a fishing road trip with him for the summer, and to make up for missing his date with Roxanne, and Max tells her that him and Goofy are travelling to the concerts at Powerline's concerts, which does make up for the mistakes, but can Goofy and Max, this estranged father and son, mend their relationship. Happy 30th anniversary, a Goofy movie. I mean, this movie is the big 3-0 this year. Wow, and I will also be celebrating my 30th birthday, just like this movie this year. And while a Goofy movie was never one of the Disney classics that I would watch on multiple viewings on VHS during my childhood, I would every so often watch it on TV, and every time I would go, "Wow, this is a damn good movie." Uh, the the perfect movie for Goofy, and this truly is a vastly underrated Disney classic. It is a crime that this movie doesn't get nearly as talked about as the other Disney Renaissance classics from the 90s, and it's not technically considered a Disney Renaissance movie, but I really think it deserves to be. In fact, the inspiration for the road trip bonding behind this film was Jeffrey Katzenberg, who had an estranged relationship with his daughter, but the road trip he took with her strengthened their bond. While a Goofy movie was initially set to release Thanksgiving 1994, director Kevin Lima insisted that the film be pushed back to 1995 to allow more time to work on the film to polish it. And I'm so pleased he made that decision, because had it released in 1994, it would have been completely living in the shadow of the Lion King. Whereas, sure, it had competition with Toy Story and Pocahontas, but a Goofy movie, let's be real, is way better than Pocahontas. And thinking about it, a Goofy movie may be my second favorite movie of 1995. The more I think about it, just below Toy Story, of course. But yeah, here is why I have absolutely loved a Goofy movie for 30 years now. I uh, I do think that this film, the message about communication being important, whether it's with a parent or with the one you love, is a great one. As Goofy and Max have rarely had the chance to get to know one another, because Goofy and Max seem to be polar opposites in terms of their summer plans, but also their personalities. And Max, has all these misleading thoughts, and about is under the impression that Roxana won't love him unless he's popular like her. And but Goofy and Max do learn to compromise, and Goofy learns to realize that Max is no longer a little kid; he's a teen, and Goofy needs different parenting tactics with Max, and Max also needs to realize too that and Max also realizes that, Goofy is not intentionally trying to ruin his life. He only wants the best for his son. And Max also realizes that Roxanne is just as shy and as awkward as him, making their love story, adorable, more than words can put it. And the most underrated love story of the Disney classics of the 90s. I'm overjoyed that we would also get, Max and Roxanne scenes in episodes of The House of Mouse. Shame on Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas for and not having a Roxanne in it. Initially, Disney was going to cast Steve Martin as a Goofy just for star power, and Steve Martin only just done the comedy runaway hits Planes, Trains and Automobiles. But thank heavens they've casted Bill Farmer instead, because Bill Farmer is Goofy. He's able to make a Goofy sound so warm and loving, who is happy 90% of the time, whereas but he's also able to bring out Goofy's emotion, especially in one of the best scenes in the movie, the "Nobody Else But You" song. That's Goofy and Max sings when they are floating down the river in their car. It's one of the best father and son moments of all time, and my favorite song in the soundtrack of the movie. And speaking of the soundtrack, Powerliner, the pop star, how freaking awesome that Disney invented a original pop star with his own original songs just for this film. He's like the Michael Jackson of Disney. And even Powerline's voice actor made an appearance at D23 2015 for the film's 20th anniversary, and the crowd went wild. And it goes to show that there are more Goofy movie fans than you would think that still celebrate the film today. And this is a slightly different Max from the Max we saw in Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. Now he's going through the teenage hormones of his first girl crush. He thinks his chance to be with Roxanne and to get his dream, and when he thinks his summer plans are in jeopardy and his chance to get with Roxanne has been jeopardized, I mean, you can't blame him. You would be annoyed if your dad, you felt like, was trying to control your life and just wouldn't let you go out, be free, and be a teenager. And but the road trip that Goofy and Max take is told perfectly, with plenty of obstacles and a heartfelt bonding and even fallout moments between the father and son. When Goofy and Max first arrive at the fishing lake, and only to have their trip interrupted temporarily by Bigfoot. Yes, it is that's hilarious. When Max just loses his shit when he is yelling at Goofy for or what he's done. You can see the sadness in Goofy's eyes. I mean, that's why this film is underappreciated, as it's even though it's a movie based on Goofy, one of Disney's funniest characters, it never goes too far with the comedy, and it's capable of slowing down. Crazy Pete is in this movie as the film's a sort of antagonist, with his son, who's Max's best friend, and but as Max and Pete's son bond so well as they both have issues with their fathers, and when Pete tells Goofy in the pool that Max changed the map so that him and Goofy would be heading to the Powerline concert, you're like, Pete, you did not just let that cat out of the bag. Oh, you feel Goofy's pain inside. This movie is such a accurate portrayal of how kids want. This movie is such an accurate portrayal of how kids and their parents don't always agree, especially during their teenage years. Kids and parents particularly clash. It's also terrific that Max's school principal is voiced by Rex's voice actor from Toy Story, as he talks like this. Even when there are no songs, the soundtrack for this movie is uh, perfectly in time with Goofy's comedy, and the composer of this movie would go on to compose the score for Twilight's no joke. I feel bad for the guy to go from this masterpiece to Twilight. And this movie may have the lowest budget of all the Disney animated movies released in the 90s. It certainly doesn't have, quite the budget of the epic Disney Renaissance movies, but it's not trying to be an epic. The animation's still fabulous, and it's awesomely portrays the 90s and calls back to the decade in which I came into the world. As a 90s baby, I greatly dig the period setting of this film, and just ate up all the 90s nostalgia from beginning to end. And even the opening scene of the movie with Max's dream turned nightmare, with him uh, being with Roxanne in the grass to then transforming into his father, Goofy, him becoming a giant Goofy. I mean, yeah, that's is a freaky but perfect way to show that Max is afraid of being like his goofy dad. So overall, a Goofy movie is a underloved and often forgotten a Disney masterpiece, and I couldn't be happier that this is the movie that Goofy got. And this is not just nostalgia talking. This is my genuine, honest opinion, even as a nearly 30-year-old man. And I think we can all agree it beats its sequel, an extremely goofy movie, any day.
I give a Goofy movie 5 stars out of 5. Best movie ever.
So yeah, now on to the sequel, an extremely goofy movie, which I will get to later in the year. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And what are your thoughts on a goofy movie? Please comment and let me know. Please like the video and subscribe. Please follow on Twitter and on Instagram. And I will see you all next time when I review Daredevil Born Again. When after the final episode this Wednesday. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.